Here's a true story also. I got arrested because I set the Tonight Show on fire. Thank you. And I had to go to court. And my own attorney, when I showed up to court, she goes, plead not guilty. I'm like, I saw the footage. I'm pretty sure it's me, you know. Not unless there's a third arsonist in the grassy knoll, I might be going down on this one. And my punishment was I had to do TV commercials. I don't even know what the fuck they're for. I'm like, hi, I'm Bobcat Goldthwait. If you're ever on a talk show, don't set it on fire. Ah! Back to you, McGruff. Here's your old friend, Kelsey Grammer, with some safe driving tips. Hi, I'm Chris Brown for domestic violence. I am a California resident. I was never a fan of Schwarzenegger as the governor. It wasn't, it's not even political. I don't know. I don't even know how he got elected. You know what I mean? I think because he molested so many women, the voters thought he was a Democrat. Because, hear me out, traditionally Democrats, well, you know what I mean? Their thing is like power, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I wonder if I could fuck my intern, or, you know, they're corrupt and they're like, oh, I wonder if I could bang Marilyn Monroe, you know? And whenever Republicans involved, it's always some sort of sacrilegious, deviant kind of thing. It's a little weirder. It's like trying to bang a dude in a bathroom, or like get your wife laid on Craigslist. It's always a little fucked up. It's got to have this Christian thing in it that's like, oh, my sperm is Jesus' tears. All right. So I played Utah recently. That went really well. No, really. You know what? I can't complain about the Mormons when I was in Utah. You know what I mean? That's like when someone goes, I got bit by a chimp and it ripped my face off. And you go, well, how'd that happen? They go, I was taking a bubble bath with a chimp. It's like, well, fuck you, crazy. You should get bit by a chimp. Now, so I don't know where I'm going with this, but you can't bitch about Mormons. Essentially, Utah is the chimp hot tub. I don't know where this metaphor's going. So what annoyed me was the comedians. They would use fake curse words. Now, I think there's a lot of guys who are super funny who don't curse. I choose to curse, but these guys would say make them up words. Instead of saying fuck, they're going, I'm looking over there and I'm thinking, what the frick? And I'm looking over here, cheese and crackers and gosh darn in some big ditch. And after 4 shows of that, I was like, hey, the word fuck is super sacred to me, all right? Either say it or don't, but don't use some juvenile replacement word like frick, you know what I mean? And this is where I lost the crowd in Utah. I said, hey, let's pretend there is a God. Do you really think he's up there in heaven or Narnia or whatever fucking make-em-up land you people believe in? Going, did you say frick or fuck? Are you wearing the magic underpants? All right, you can get into heaven. You know what it is actually, I worked with a group of Mormons and they never tried to convert me. This is a true story. They were really nice guys, and not once. And eventually it really hurt my feelings. Like, this is a true story. 8 months with these guys, and they're going, hey, Bobcat, how you doing? I go, I don't know, my life is a blank void. What happens after you die? I guess we're all just worm food, right? All right, so I was talking about Schwarzenegger, and my real problem with Schwarzenegger is the fact that his dad and grandfather were Nazis, yeah. I think before you hold office in the United States, you should have to be 3rd or 4th generation Nazi removed, or before you're Pope, because, see, I know you're not supposed to blame the children for the sins of the father, but my father was in World War II. He was in the Corps of Engineers. Do you know what he did in the service? Okay, I'll tell you. He shot at Arnold Schwarzenegger's Nazi fucking family. That's what he did. If my dad was a better shot, there wouldn't have been a kindergarten cop. I'm gonna be uncomfortable at some Hollywood function sometime. There's fucking Schwarzenegger, I gotta get out of here. Get out! He should have been the governor of Arizona. Get out! I actually agree with that law where a policeman should be able to ask anybody at any time to prove that they're a legal resident of the United States. But I also believe that that police officer should have to be a Native American. I want an Indian cop to ask John McCain how long his family's been a legal resident of the United States. How long's your family been a legal resident? It's like 200 years. 2,000, bitch! No, I don't think I'm that funny. I just have to bust myself. In the middle of that bit, I didn't want to do like a racist Indian voice, like, how many years your family? So I switched it to a black voice for no apparent reason, like, hey, that's not fucking racist at all. Yo. I guess there's a little tea party in all of us, you know? It is a white racist group. I mean, they can say what they want. They have one Uncle Tom that they drag out every once in a while and make the guy dance and sing, but it's a white racist group. I can say that because, you know, whatever. Here's my point. Like, a bunch of middle-class white people got really scared when the president looked different than the other presidents, and they couldn't use the words they usually use to describe someone that looked like the president, so they came up with new words like, look at the president. He's socialist. What's a socialist? I'm not sure, but I know they like fried chicken. I'm not like a huge fan of his. I mean, I'm not crazy about his a lot of his things, but I think we should give him a little longer before everybody turns on him. It's kind of like the United States was these passengers that were on a plane, and this guy's driving it, and he keeps driving it, and it keeps going to the earth, and he can't get it up, and he's freaking out, and this guy goes, hey, let me drive for a little bit, and he does, and they're on their way to Disneyland, they're all gonna die, and then he fucking pulls it off and lands them in Kansas, and us as residents of the United States are like those passengers if they got off and went, we were going to Disneyland. You suck. So I will talk a little bit about my daughter. I was in a movie called Blow where I was, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So I was in this movie called Blow where, I was skinny and I go, I can't feel my face. You know what's funny? If you're in a movie where you do cocaine, people who do cocaine are big fans of it. It's that simple, like how stoners like Cheech and Chong and old people like Matlock. There's just certain fucking universal rules that you think are hacky, but they're true. So like coke people will come up and they'll go, dude, what were you guys really snorting in that movie? Like they're gonna give you real coke on a film set, you know? All right, take 13, action. My heart! That's not in the script at all. So I was trying to memorize the dialogue and I was driving my daughter to school. And you could tell I was driving because of my amazing miming abilities. I was milking a really fucked up cow. By the way, I'm gonna interrupt myself. I wish I was a super genius and I could figure out a way that when you vote for American Idol, it turns the battery in your phone into an explosive device. I don't want these people to die. I just want them to have a burn on the side of their face in the shape of a phone. So when I see them, I don't have to talk to them. This guy voted for American Idol. There's not a goddamn thing he can say that's gonna improve the quality of my life. So back to driving my daughter to school, and she was helping me memorize the really, here we go. That's it. Wait, it's 10, 10, and 2, right? Let's just fuck the mime. I'm driving my daughter to school. She has the script. She's like, go, Dad. I go, where'd you get this Coke? It is really strong? And my daughter's like, not even close, Dad. It says, fuck me running. Where the fuck did you get this shit? This is some strong motherfucking blow. I'm like, thanks, honey. She's like, no problem, Dad. She was 8, all right? You need to relax. No, I wish she was 8. I'd have Ozzy's fucking money by now. My daughter was 13, and when my daughter, she's gonna die because she hates these bits, but when she was 13, we were watching this commercial, and it was a razor, and it had shave cream in the handle. Like, how lazy do you have to be? I like shave cream. I don't have that kind of time, my busy day. Push the button, and the shit didn't even spray out. It just went, like, it just dripped out. And my daughter's 13, she goes, ugh, it looks like cum. I'm like, I'm thinking best case scenario. She saw porno on the web. Best case scenario. I'm trying to think, what's the correct parental response in such an uncomfortable situation? I go, good one. She said, don't tell that on stage. I said, I won't.